Dragon's Crown Week is coming to an end, and what better way to celebrate than to use our 5th and final exclusive video to show off some of the game's many enemies and bosses from the first 6 levels. Perhaps the most common enemy in Dragon's Crown is the Goblin, a little green creature with a wooden shield and dull sword. These guys are fodder for your party and are commonly found from the beginning of the game right on through the early stages. Their bigger friends, the orcs, however, are a bit more challenging, but still not too bad. Spiders are common enemies too, and you'll almost always know that they're coming before you actually see them, since their webs are all over the places they inhabit. Bats are also fairly common, and in Castlevania-like fashion, they'll simply fly on screen and keep on going, though they're a bit more intelligent. Speaking of Castlevania, there are creatures in Dragon's Crown that look a great deal like the famous fishmen from that series. These guys are well armed, however, and will aggressively attack you with their tridents. The palette swap of these guys are found on land instead of water and carry a spear instead of a trident, but they're essentially the same otherwise. Oh, and you'll encounter regular fish too. Not the most daunting enemies in the world, but ones that are only susceptible to attack when they jump out of the water to attack you. Creepy crawlies such as snakes and scorpions are found all over Dragon's Crown. Indeed, snakes are some of the first creatures you'll encounter, and while they're easy to kill and not very strong, they can grab you and constrict you if you get too close. Magical tree-like creatures are some of the strongest enemies you'll encounter early in the game. These tree trunks aren't powerful offensively, but they can take an incredible amount of damage before being felled. Consider having magic users in your party use fire magic to create constant burn damage. Spellcasters with their flowing robes and powerful magic will start to taunt you beginning on the game's 3rd stage. They are defensively weak, so strike at them quickly, but beware. They can teleport around and give you quite the runaround as they cast their spells. The enchanted worms and mushrooms that sometimes accompany them are nothing more than mere annoyances, though mushrooms in particular come in great numbers at times and can be hard to strike. Ghosts are the most interesting enemies you meet early on in Dragon's Crown because they are completely unsusceptible to standard attacks. To harm them, you need to either use magical attacks, fire specifically, or have one of your melee brawlers pick up a torch and use that to harm them. Zombies and skeleton knights are the final standard enemies worth discussing, and they usually come at you together, or at least on the same stage. Zombies are typically easy to kill in games, and they are in Dragon's Crown too, but there's a catch. Zombie blood is poisonous, so you need to get in and out and kill them quickly without getting any of it on you. Skeleton knights, on the other hand, can take care of themselves in battle and can both deal and withstand a lot of damage. Frustratingly, they crumble when you attack them too hard, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're dead. They'll reform before long, so be careful. And how about some bosses? The game's first boss is the Harpy, a beautifully drawn creature that is both airborne and ground-based. She can grab characters and violently toss them, swipe with her talons, and quickly swoop across the screen, causing damage to all members of your party. The game's second boss, the Wyvern, is a dragon-like creature that can withstand a lot of attacks as it plans assaults of its own. The thing to remember in this battle is that the Wyvern can call backup to help him in the form of lesser dragon creatures. The Doom Beetle is one of the most interesting foes early on in the game. The Doom Beetle constantly jumps around the stage in an attempt to squish you and your party, and he can use his pincers to cause a lot of pain. He also causes cocoons to show up that hatch Doom Beetles if you don't take care of them. The 4th stage's boss, on the other hand, is the Minotaur, a fairly straightforward, bulky, and powerful enemy that likes to charge and swing his axe. The 5th and 6th stages in Dragon's Crown are both populated by bosses that are in fact part of a larger group. Stage 5 pits you against a slew of vampires who can appear and disappear, fly in the air, and attack from above and from the ground. The pirates of the 6th stage rely on sheer numbers to overwhelm you, swinging their swords while withstanding a hell of a lot of damage before falling. Dragon's Crown comes exclusively to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita this August. For more on the game in between now and then, keep it tuned to IGN.